before making any life-changing decisions. Only on the Ground Report.
The ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report. The ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We must make the government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the laws of the land. And so I ask you to put your hand on your heart, every one of you, and shout after me, I am the government. Louder, I am the government.
Bang, bang,
I am the government.
bang, 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 bang.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's about 11 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms that you can get us when you leave your transportation, your transport. When you reach the work,
And if our God is for
or you reach home,
and who could ever
either from traveling or driving,
our God is
you can get us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube,
never stop us.
648 Television on YouTube. You can also get us on the Ground Report, yes, the Ground Report on YouTube. And you can also get us at Talk City 91.1 FM on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter. Mr. Pleasant good morning to all my drivers in the East, West, North, South, Central, Tobago, in Florida. Kenrick Posada, pleasant good morning to you.
God, you are higher than any other. Our God is
Mr. Clarence, I was trying to get you back. I ain't getting you at all. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. All my maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers, private cars, 7-seaters, white panel vans, donkey, horse, ants, rats. Them the store thing too. All in sundry of drivers, a pleasant good morning to you all. Wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh yes, on the World Wide Web, it have drivers as we listening to us out there. They lock on to YouTube, Facebook. Yeah. While they're in the truck, it I want to be sure about Kenrick Passad. Andy. Man, what's going on, Andy? Eleanor, a pleasant good morning to you. I thought you'd tell me I have a nice voice. You were your mama guy, woman, this mama guy, man, you know. You write up 2 weeks ago how the pitbull voice, real nice. It is a nice, attractive voice. This morning you write about good morning to Hoxie voice, Andy. So my voice Hoxie. So where mama guy me for before?
Bang, bang, bang.
Next time, just be straight. Hey, your voice Hoxie.
water you turned into wine.
Hey, my baby, a pleasant good morning to you.
Yeah.
Teacher Balmain, good morning. Vidya Grankufa, good morning. Nancy Basio, good morning. Nadira, a pleasant good morning to you. Jillian John, good morning. Carmen, a pleasant good morning. Desmond Hines, good morning. Durat Mohan, good morning to you. Wendy and John, good morning. Michael Scotland, good morning. Timothy Roberts, how are you going, brother, here in Trinidad? Good morning to you. Philip Fatboy, good morning to you. When I say Fatboy, that's Grandy. And when I say Grandy, I must say Valencia West, Neil De Silva, Nasser Hussein, Darren, Darren Mohan, Council for the Brigadier Approved. 10 for Mohan, his brother. Hey, Peter Samlalson, good morning. Zabrian Ghani, a pleasant good morning to you. Dindiya Ramdas, good morning. Krishna, how we're going, a pleasant good morning to you. Denver Mohan, I don't call your name yet day. Carol Brown, good morning.
Into the darkness you shine.
Carol.
The ashes we
Elizabeth, a pleasant good morning to you. Richard Jamaraj, good morning to you all. Mala Sukhai, good morning. Afrina Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you.
our God is great.
Renal, good morning.
Our God is stronger. God, you
Joanny Jagroup, I ain't see you so long. Good morning to you, my brother.
our God is healer.
Anne Brown here. Good morning, Anne Brown. Zandu, Ruthless, good morning. Anne-Marie Amin, a pleasant good morning to you. Marilyn C. Charan, good morning. Matilda Rhodes, a pleasant good morning. Ravi, a.k.a. Postman.com, good morning. Mr. Ramnarain and Joey, Joel, Mohan out there, Canada, and all my Canadian brothers and sisters that are out there, look on, a pleasant good morning to you all. Mr. Ramnarain, son, Adesh. I ain't hear from you a long time. What happened? Bisnat Posada, pleasant good morning to you. Eleanor, I ain't calling your name at all. Oh, my voice Oxy.
And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what
Jamila Khan, a pleasant good morning. Diane,
our God is
legendary. How we are going, girl? Joyce Ram, good morning.
stop us? And if our God is with us,
Samantha, a pleasant good morning to you.
stand against.
Krishna Ramsukala, pleasant good morning. Angela Lochan, good morning. Oh boy, Jillian, good morning to you. Dave Maraj, a pleasant good morning to you. Look at how much you all Primraj. Angela's, all Angela's, good morning.
Awesome in power, our God,
Timal,
our God.
Mangoru, what's that name? Good morning to you.
Our God is stronger. God is
Sukraj, good morning. Dress School, a pleasant good morning. Kaladin Prasad, a pleasant good morning to you.
our God is healer.
Damien Upton Vincent, good morning. Sheldon Paris, good morning.
And if our God
Angelo Martinez, good morning to you.
is stop us,
Celia De Silva, I don't tell your husband the Neil De Silva morning. Counselor Neil De Silva Valencia West, in fact. KK, you getting ready for school? That's his daughter. Jennifer Ramjet, good morning. Ricky Ramota, pleasant good morning to you. Monica, good morning. Oltilda, good morning to you. Kathleen, good morning. Carmen, where you laughing at? Kaladin Passar out there in New York, good morning. Lenora Kamabach, a pleasant good morning to you. Donna Lewis, good morning.
the eyes of
So much all you. Ah, boys, it's 10:21. I tell all you, I will always only call all you out until 20 past.
like you.
Rupert Lal, good morning. Joel R. Hazel, I don't call you morning already, partner. So you and your wife, your daughter always look on.
Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you.
Radhika, good morning. Sudali, a pleasant good morning to you, Rose. How you going, Rose?
God is greater. Our God is stronger.
Felix, Monty, good morning. Magani's friend, how you going, girl? They fix the road up there yet, or the water still running in the road there? Hey, the two water. I hear in the dry season, no water ain't running. Because there ain't no water down there to flush the toilet, so the toilet got overflow in the road out there. And get all that two water to walk through. How high is it, the veins? Are you behaving yourself? Or come and check you? Hey, Tracy Thomas, a pleasant good morning.
The darkness you shine.
Betty, Betty, good morning. Mubarak.
As we
Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. Bubjan John, good morning. Freddie Brown, good morning. Michael Fagaro, a pleasant good morning to you. Anthony, how you going? A pleasant good morning to you. Jill Monroe, I think I tell you morning already. Sherian,
our God is strong.
Shepherd, how you going? Good morning.
Higher than any other.
Pingala Mohan, good morning. Annie Abraham, a good morning. Hima Basdio, pleasant good morning. Trini Nairo, good morning to you.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger.
Laban, a pleasant good morning to you.
Any
Jail Tony Jail. How the name is Jail, boy? You make jail or what?
awesome in power.
What kind of name is that? Jail Tony Jail.
God.
Mala, Maraj, good morning. Sukder, Duki, good morning. Yazid, Mohammed, a pleasant good morning. Nigel George, good morning. Ramesh. Rather.
And if our God is for us,
Ragunanan, good morning to you.
stop us.
Navika Balkaran, a pleasant good morning.
And what can
Ann Brong, all of you, good morning. Ann Jackman, good morning. Way boy. Wayne Ramdas, good morning to you.
if our God is with us, then what can stand again?
Mahadio, good morning. Khan, good morning. Bro, good morning. Hey, Cyril, good morning so much. Gloria Escala. Oh my God, that's it in all. Joe Tutton, I had to start one time. Imagine that.
Our God is great.
Not forgetting my brothers and sisters in Tobago. Tobago, a pleasant good morning to you. Scarborough, Bloody Bay, Canaan.
Our God is here, awesome in power. Our God,
Signal Hill.
our God, our God,
That's what we're talking about.
our God.
Headliners this morning. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Director Snipes. A pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad, Tobago, and of course the wider world.
Nice. And Lennox Smith. A pleasant good morning to you.
Yes, indeed. A pleasant good morning to you as well, my friend. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear in the east,
Yes,
west,
indeed.
north,
Of
and
course. A
south.
pleasant good morning, yes, to those in Trinidad, east, west, north, south, central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web. Have a wonderful day or the rest of it, so to speak, depending on your neck of the woods and what time of the day it is there. Of course, some people have been asking, well, why it is we pay so much attention to the callers and not, of course, introduce the, let's say, the presenters to the program first. Well, we firstly, we like to do it differently. Secondly, it demonstrates a measure of how significant you are in terms of making this program the number one that it is and must continue so to be. So don't feel in any way should I say sensitive to any one of us here. That is a planned and of course orchestrated gesture to demonstrate that you, whether you are a maxi taxi driver, whether you're a taxi driver, whether you are a bus driver, whether you are a mechanic or an engineer for that matter, a pilot or a magistrate or judge. So that is the level of respect we have for the audience and the expansion as a consequence of the program. That being as it may, Andy, I don't know if you have something to treat with because there are several that is on the front burner this morning. We have, of course, the fallout from the Trump encounter, so to speak, with our Prime Minister or by our Prime Minister, depending on your perspective. And of course, we have the situation with a sort of iconic, if not a staple, and they were there before the Savannah, let's say, flavor market, so to speak, because of course we're talking about the breakfast shed here and some issues that are still outstanding. Some is saying that they are outstanding. You cut some $1 million in rent. They are saying that
So that breakfast shed,
they are owed $6 million because of a promise made by Patrick Manning some time ago. So you understand how this thing is going. Lee Hunt is one of the spokesperson, a former minister of public utilities, I believe, even though his period was truncated by some difference in opinion between himself and the then Prime Minister Rowley. And of course, Monroe, see that he's back on the scene representing, of course, these should I say, occupants. And the argument is, for example, Lee Hunt is saying that the amount of electricity that is being owed ought not to be, it should be about 5,000 a month because they ought not to have been classified as business person or put in that category having regard to the micro nature of their establishments. But all of those we could extrapolate as we go forward. Yeah.
Let us know, because we done it already there on the breakfast shed. So So it have a story now with the Bertrand Shed where it's back in the headliners based on the tenants and them there not paying their light bill and not paying their rent.
Well, they're not paying their rent, yes. So there was
So the rent
outstanding
includes
rent.
the rent.
Of course, a legacy, or should I say?
So the rent include their light bill and water bill, everything in one.
Well, that appears to be separate because, if you're renting, you pay your light bill separately. So there's several things that are there. One, with respect to UDCOT aspect of it, they are saying that UDCOT renege on their responsibility to upgrade and to maintain the place. So sewer issues, etc., in terms of infrastructure or the integrity of the structure. That's one. And the other one is that on the UDCOT side, they're saying that, well, despite of that, you're owing $1 million thereabout, and we are calling upon you. Of course, the present authority that is responsible for that facility, I think it is under the auspices of the Ministry of Housing. So they are calling on the substantive minister and the ministers as well in that ministry to take note and to come up with some solution. But that has gone there as well. Yeah.
All right. It all boils down whether take note, whether this, whether that, or if it go. Just like AGC tenants, they're owing rent. And under the slack PNM, leave them to continue to owe rent. It is what it is. Because there are many people who have HEC houses who are in government buildings paying the government the rent. And it's very unfair that these people will work hard, save the money, organize, pay the rent, but have those, because it's PNM, or PNM supporters that don't want to pay no rent. The days for that done. What deal you're saying that Manning had with them? He deceased. Manning dead and gone. So if they get away right now,
that seemed to be going to court as well from the threat made by the Representative Monroe. He is saying that that is a valid matter that should be ventilated in the courts. So, and of course, I'm sure that there will be affidavits and so on supporting that from the vendors, so that there is an arrangement where every cook or every chef was supposed to get, I think, $600,000, and I suppose that would have been part and parcel when they were moving to move them from there. Initially, remember, there was a move under the last administration to move them from there.
But half of them done dead out already, and Manning never live up. And Rowley was in power for a whole 10 years, and them chefs and cooks didn't know in that 10 years that to hold Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and paying them to account for what is being owed. Just like the teachers union and everybody who did not and avoided holding the former government to account because they afraid that ballhead demon you call Dr. Rowley. But
well, the CEO has made it very clear on that matter, and of course, sending a salvo to the Police Welfare Association and the labor representative of the fire service as well, I believe, and any other who would have accepted the 5%. That 5% is 5% because your representative have accepted that. However, there is a matter that is still in the realm of discrepancy or understanding as far as the PSA is concerned, because the 10% part of it would have been paid, but the government and the CPO appear to be insisting that part of that back pay should be in the form of non-cash matters, and it will include, and I think is a very good deal, it will include, of course, people may have mortgages for AGC, for example, that could be addressed. You have, of course, the persons who may have vehicle matters as well, that could be addressed, and a number of other unique but government-focused areas where outstanding taxes, for example, all of that could be addressed in the non-cash aspect of the negotiation. It is still, of course, ongoing.
Nice. So people have to keep their labor leaders and them accountable. Who don't sign 5%, take your 5%. Who sign 1%, take your 1%. That like the Chinese Teacher Association, man, look, he get vote out. He sign off 10 days or 15 days before election, 4%
And
for the people.
the intention, clearly, we had said it on this program, so there's no need to be inconsistent. So let me focus on being consistent, that it was to shift the pendulum in favor of that pernicious, evil, wicked, diabolical administration that the population rejected both in Trinidad and in Tobago on April the 28th of last year.
Nice. So, Trinidad, we had to go for a break, right? But before we do all of that, because with every argument, it must come with a solution. And at the end of the day, yes, the people don't like the last former government at all. No, they don't. That was wicked to we. They ain't make no black people, no millionaires, except Rowley and who black close to he. Playing talk bad manners, they ain't pay public servants no money. They ain't raise old people pension. Nearly $1 trillion spent. And Trinidad and Tobago today, when we get back to country, it broken. It had no money. All ministries owing. Imagine that, and government institutions understand that. So that must bring the hate that I have for the former government. That weak belly penny, who is the opposition leader now, had no mouth against them, but have all kind of mouth now. She's weak belly penny. She will never be a prime minister. PNM will never be in power until the final leader. There is none before us there, because most of them who are there still is part of the Rowley clip. As I can Venezuela, look, this woman still there. Delcy Rodriguez, but she playing ball with Trump. But although I don't like the former government and the way they treat me, and Tobago teach them a good lesson, clean sweep, they're dead in Tobago, which is PNM. Dead. That don't mean that the pitbull is a biased person and that the pitbull not holding this person UNC government to account. They will be held to account. They have to be held to account. And so far, they are doing a very good job. Dropping the ball here and there, taking the light tongue lashing, but they are government that listens. But they will be held to account. The next thing on the whole issue of breakfast shed, I call on Jolene John, Udicott, because I think that is under Udicott, for you all to write off, because again, I's a poor people, man, and all them politicians is always eat all the food, and a poor man can't eat no food. Write off those bills. All, including Barry powered up, the electricity bills, with the breakfast shed. Give them a fresh start. Always call it an amnesty. That way, we call it Lennox Smith. When we going and
amnesty is an appropriate word because you are forgiving. You are forgiving, yeah.
Right. Let's give the breakfast shed people, because most of them there. And then people will watch that. Remember, Andy was a PNM, you know. I was a PNM. I'm telling you how politics is played. Most of them there is African Trinidadians. Any breakfast shed day. Some of them they're selling so long, they ain't have money to buy plate for them out. Some of them you see in the cracker, they can't upgrade. I don't know how. I really don't know how. But give them amnesty. Let it start afresh. And
I think that is an appropriate solution to the problem. They have inherited that, no cause of the present administration, but having regard to all of what had to be done, inclusive of CPEP, URP, the forestry, I don't think that this is a matter that is unsolvable. Because we are not talking about displacing negative elements. We're talking about people who have been, in spite of their delinquent approach to managing their respective businesses and the owings. So what you do, you generate a as set off, or as you said, amnesty where all these things are written off and you generate a fresh start with, of course, some more regulatory involvement of the relevant authority, whether it be UDCOT, whether it be HGC, to monitor and to upgrade the facility so that, because as I said, they were there long before what is taking place in the savannah, the flavor, and it was a tremendous success. I suspect many of them would have gone there and be part and parcel of that new development to attract tourists. But the breakfast shed has been a staple from time immemorial, and therefore should be given, that kind of
yeah, but they sell the food. They sell the
scenario.
Food.
Yeah,
they sell the food too expensive to it. For not paying no light bill and this and that, be asking for amnesty for them. That'll drop the food price. They're too damn expensive too.
That's right. If you are getting that input where you don't have
you don't rent to pay
to find the resources for that, then you should not exploit the customers.
Nice.
Yeah.
So get them the amnesty, my government, or the people of Trinidad and Tobago government. General Kamala Prasad, Sir Jerlyn John, Judy Cott, you all. Get them the amnesty, but watch, anytime they miss 1 month rent or paying the water rate or the tea and tech bill, just 1 month, make sure a new contract draw up. Strike 1, strike 2, 1 month. That within a timing. Here where it is. Get rid of them with immediate effect and try somebody else that will take the business serious, make money, and will pay the rent, will pay the utility bills. Okay? Right. Director Snipes.
And while of course you have to take into consideration, which of course will be an argument that the occupiers will have, and that is COVID. Really decimated a lot of food businesses. And they would have been a victim of that as well. So the argument is there, as I have been arguing in several governmental quarters and joined to the situation in East Port-au-Prince as well, with small businessmen
before the COVID.
Their businesses.
They owing before the COVID. Yeah, there's no it. Just like HEC people.
This is what I'm saying. Even though it was predated, but I mean that is a good argument to.
That is not a good argument at all.
You say, let us set off all of that. Let us generate this amnesty and let's start a fresh page. Yeah.
Using the COVID as a stepping stone, although it had nothing to do with their decimation because them was in trouble
initially,
long before that. Right? So government, deal with them. We're not harsh. We want poor people to eat our food back. Right? But again, when they start, make sure have a strict contract. 1 month pass, they ain't pay the rent and light bill and thing. All right, they get a warning. The next month, if they can't clear up that and pay the fresh one, they out with immediate effect. Oh, government, let's go for take that needed break and come back. When we come back, the lines are open to you, Trinidad and Tobago. What's your thoughts on that? Should they remain there? Should we give them amnesty? Or should the government get rid of them one time? What's your thoughts? Remember what's mine, eh? My thoughts again is majority of them there are African Trinidadians. My thoughts is not because of that it gives them the right to be there. However, they go no. My thoughts is we know the racial politics that plays in Trinidad and Tobago, and people thoughts and PNM will use that. That's how myopic they are in their thinking and racial that they are when it comes to trying to split the country on real thing that is nothing really. Okay, so what's your thoughts on that?
Which of course the causation is really the doings of the PNM itself.
Exactly.
Originally.
The whole cause of that is the PNM caused that whole Kalalu. Always paying their own people in problem and don't take them out at all. Always. Just like the police, CPEP, the URP, all of them people them in trouble. And can't take them out. Go on and sign up thing with old cabinet approval and all kind of thing. They do go to the right track. The new government couldn't have budged it. Couldn't have budged. But no, always mamagaing poor people. That's the nasty, dirty, stinking, obia walking PNM government that I can't like at all. But that don't mean I'm not holding the UNC accountable. Snipes, snipe us out of here, director.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
All you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Beverly Ramsey Moore. In the world of steel pan, Trinidad and Tobago's national instrument, leadership takes rhythm, resilience, and vision. And at the helm stands Beverly Ramsey Moore. A seasoned cultural administrator and passionate advocate for the steel band movement, Ramsey Moore made history when she was elected president of the Pan Trinbago, becoming the first woman to lead the organization in its decades-long history. Her journey within Pan Trinbago spans years of dedicated service. She previously served as secretary of the organization and has long been involved in executive leadership within the steel band fraternity. Known for her firm stance on transparency, accountability, and restructuring, Ramsey Moore stepped into the presidency with a mandate for reform and renewal. As president, she has championed governance reform, financial oversight, and rebuilding trust within the steel band community. Her leadership represents not only an historic milestone for women in culture, but a new chapter for one of Trinidad and Tobago's most treasured institutions. Beverly Ramsey Moore's rise to the presidency signals progress in a space traditionally dominated by men, proving that women continue to shape and safeguard the nation's cultural legacy.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
is Session. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
The co-host will guide me accordingly, but again, I is a serious man. And I like truth. I must salute Beverly Ramsey Moore as a woman to be to the top in PAN as the boss woman for PAN. But she will also be recognized in history as the woman who gave away prime real estate, boy. PAN Trimbago lands up so where all them big businesses will love to go and get, will love to have close to the airport, that they could have put a PAN complex. They could have all kind of a mall, a gas station they could have put there to go to squeeze in the PAN people in tongue by a 2x4. That woman, Tobago woman, Beverly Ramsey Moore, in the Pitbull book, hail to her as being a woman and she on top. But she will go down in the history of making the worst decision ever when it comes to PAN Trimbago and PAN players. And what called real estate and money, knowing money. The worst. Who vex loss. I do business who congratulating. In some of that congratulations, there is falsehood in her. What about her?
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh Lord.
It is what it is. Let Kamala Prasad be herself called the Pitbull for his opinion.
Bang, 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 bang.
Now let's continue. Let me play some voice notes there early. I don't know if it is Lennox Smith want to put in anything in that, but he don't. It's up to here. But that's my opinion, and I have all right to my opinion. Well, they don't sell me about nobody so great. Great. That is one of the dumbest women ever.
No. I simply is in agreement. There's a demonstration of acute myopia, short-sightedness on the part of that decision. We are yet to find out, and of course there are concerned progressive PAN men and women in the fraternity who have expressed right on this program their concern, not just one, not just two, but several of them. But in spite of that, the leadership continue to take that path. And then, of course, we learned that the current office, for example, is owned by a former government minister, suggesting that there is some kind of something that is untoward. I'm not casting any aspersions except what I've just said, and to accept the former post office central office on Raisu Road as an alternative to that 14 acres, I believe, if it was 7 to 14 acres.
All that land, boy, off the highway.
In prime developing, progressing area, meaning that it's close proximity, just over the highway from Twin City.
Oh God!
Yeah, I think it is a monumental shame. But I want to say this: I don't think all is lost, because I'm sure that they would reconsider now that the previous administration is out of office, because that was supposed to be given up for some kind of cricketing facility But I'm sure that that is no longer the case, and therefore she probably could salvage, or the executive of the Patrick Bigo could come back to to this government, because it was a UNC government that gave it in the first place, and then of course revisit that entire plan and that entire decision. Yeah.
Madness. Look at that now. So close to the airport, boy. Way. Look at that land. And that same Beverly Manzimo. That same Beverly woman. Throw away all that land, boy. Where the hell, boy? They really say black people is, boy. Tobagonian ain't so stupid. I don't know if she really is a Tobagonian. Under all seriousness. Where's she born? She's a Trinidadian or a Tobagonian? Because I know Tobagonian people know value on land.
What we know is that she's a Tobagonian, because one of her focus is taking part of the PAN activities to Tobago during the carnival season in particular, except of course for the unavailability of efficient transport on this occasion. But she did it once, and nothing wrong with that. But to have Tobago share in the development of the PAN, but at the same time, those kinds of decisions certainly does not augur well, not only for the decision-making processes or thinking or thought patterns of the leadership of PAN, but it simply is retrogressive.
Well, no next Tobagonian. Any other Tobagonian will be smarter than that, and they will start to advocate to get back that line up so by Twin City side. Morning, caller. We're calling from. What's your contribution?
Hey, President, good morning, Andy. President, good morning, Lennox, Director Snipes. I calling from hell. But Andy, I like how you bring up that issue there with the breakfast shed, because for the last 9 years plus, P&M, quote-unquote, is saying that black party. What you plan them who's selling down by the breakfast shed down there? I hear they're going to close it down. We just like crabs in that bar, we don't fluff, we own, we don't help, we own. But Andy, we cut him back on this and we cut him back on that. You ain't talking about the treat whatever in Tobago, with the extra money they spend across there, and take people from across to go across to have a time, and people working out there hard 3 weeks now, people can't get paid. We are dealing with the issues because I believe that was spend me and tell me the blacklist me and blowing black smoke and me no come and use something politically wrong, and I fight and toil, But that's all the ball Andy for Grandy. And rolling and getting tear gas, and all of them kind of thing there. I come out and talk about me not suffering in silence by Andy, but you know what's going on too. I try to help all the black brothers and sisters out there. And don't talk about the breakfast shed, talk about the issue that's happening now.
All right.
I look to and listen. I going out there. Bless.
Yeah. Thank you. What did you say a praise for the morning? You say a praise? I like a taxi driver, I used to work taxi, PH vehicle and thing, I like, when you come out, based on how you catch it, your rest of your day is go good. Yeah, based on how you catch it, your day is go good. I don't know how I catch this. The first passenger I catch in the morning, KFC. I had to see how this day go on this program this morning. How Almighty God. Well, he might be know what he's doing. God.
We have a call. We have a caller. Oh, we lost it? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. Lennox, and you always say God knows what he does. Why he give me my first fish for the morning, KFC? Why? Why God do me that?
There's a saying that all is well that ends well. And of course, there's also a saying that says that sometimes, you get what you ain't looking for.
Right,
so take it whichever way. But that question of the TSTT matter and the expenditure for that retreat, the TSTT administration is saying that is not the amount. I think it's $500,000. I believe nearly $500,000 for $100,000 and counting. For that retreat, and they're saying that in those circumstances, and in the fact that the telecommunications union is engaged in discussions for increasing wages, then of course that is profligacy, waste, and abuse of the resources of the company. Yeah,
that wickedness.
Yeah. But they have said it is 60% less even though they didn't give, or they are yet to give, I should say, support documentation, that is, to the media, so as to verify whether or not their argument is so, or somebody
TSTT management and them and directors them always since PNM time doing what they want. Remember they sell out TSTT parts of TSTT all kind of thing and get the where's called our company? This man Rowley partner was the chairman.
Massey Communications. Massey Communications was purchased by TSTT when Elias was the chairman, and said in no uncertain terms to the in a joint select committee, listen, you can't tell me what to do. The cabinet can't tell him what
all
to
that
do.
money
For over $250
million.
Yes,
Snipes,
yes.
Sniper said that news there, the best news in Trinidad and Tobago. TTT.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Trinidad and Tobago's bid to become a leading Caribbean transport hub received a boost on Sunday with the launch of the Inter-Caribbean Airways new service connecting Trinidad and Barbados. Just a month after Winner inaugurated its route between Trinidad and Tobago and St. Martin, another regional carrier, Inter-Caribbean Airways, has officially launched a service between Trinidad and Barbados. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakur, noted that Inter-Caribbean already links more than 20 destinations throughout the region and said this expansion signals growing confidence in TNT.
Just over a month ago, we gathered here to welcome another airline to our shores with the launch of a new regional air service to Trinidad and Tobago. Today's event continues that positive momentum and reflects the growing confidence in our country as a gateway for Caribbean travel and connectivity.
Founder and chairman of Inter-Caribbean Airways, Lyndon Gardner, expressed the importance of Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago route to the airline.
Trinidad and Tobago is the largest economy in the English-speaking Caribbean, the largest oil and gas producer in the region, a financial center with an educated professional workforce that moves constantly across the Caribbean on business. Energy executives, financial services professionals, engineers, lawyers, consultants, these are not leisure travelers with flexible schedules. These are professionals who need frequency and connectivity.
Inter-Caribbean is scheduled to operate 4 flights weekly. Tackling the serious issue of violence against women in Trinidad and Tobago requires looking beyond individual incidents. This according to THA Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner. She emphasized the need to address the deeper social factors that contribute to this persistent problem. She believes part of the solution lies in the way boys and men are raised and how society supports their emotional development. Dr. Brebner argued that reducing such violence demands honest national conversations about the experiences, expectations, and pressures shaping boys and men.
The statistics show that most times violence against women is perpetrated by men, which means we need to start having deep, honest conversations with our boys and men. We need to find out what is causing them to react the way they react.
Dr. Brebner added that any meaningful solution must also confront the way boys are socialized from an early age. While girls are often encouraged to express their emotions, she said boys are frequently taught to suppress theirs.
And what we are doing is, in essence, saying to that little boy that you are not allowed to feel hate, that you are not allowed to express that you felt it, and that you are not allowed to be a human being. And then we wonder why this little boy then turns into the monster that he becomes when he is, 25, 30 years old.
In some sport now, the Powergen Secondary School Cricket League Premiership 1 Division title is set to be decided today, Tuesday, in the 7th and final round. All eyes will be on Presentation College San Fernando as they aim to secure the top spot in Division 1 with a win over Shiva Boys Hindu College, who currently sit in 5th place. A victory for Presentation College San Fernando would not only clinch the title, but also see them complete their Division 1 campaign unbeaten, a remarkable achievement that would cap off a dominant season. Their closest rival, second place Presentation College Sergonis, will be hoping for an upset, as only a defeat for San Fernando would open the door for them. If Presentation College Sergonis can secure a win against their final round opponents, 4th place Vishnu Boys Hindu College, they too could claim the Division 1 crown, setting up a dramatic finish to the season. The clash promises excitement as both teams look to assert their dominance and end the season on a high note, keeping fans on the edge of their seats until the final whistle. And that was your TTT News update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
Wake up to the issues that matter most on The Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's The Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins. Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic, antique, and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music. Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before. A brand new era of talk radio is here.
This is Destra, and you're listening to The Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth,
and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Director. Andy Williams, I was watching a joint selection committee meeting yesterday, and I saw my buddy, our friend, the Alson, sitting in the back. I didn't hear he answer any question about the morning again, Andy. Sorry for that. And Lennox. I saw our friend sit down in the back of the committee yesterday. I was watching the joint selection committee, and the Alson was sitting in the back. But I didn't hear he answer any question the time that I was looking at it. But when you talk about money missing and corruption and all those doctors are involved, I mean, and they do not know how to answer the question correctly. The guy who is in charge, Jagdev Singh, had them all confused. He had them like twine. He tied them up. They didn't know what they were doing and how they were answering the question. He confused all of them. That guy could ask questions, Jagdev Singh. He's so smart, the chairman, I believe. But the Elson was sitting in the back. I think they should bring here every single time when they have meeting, let him sit down in the back of the class and just listen to the corruption. Having like a little student, like a little puppet, sit down there and just listen. Don't ask him no question, but always invite him. Because you can smell and feel and hear the corruption at the PNF. All right, Andy, good morning, all of you guys, later.
Morning, Andy, morning. Lock on, strong, since 6 o'clock. Now we are the Linton, Eddie.
Morning. So right now, the Prime Minister and her ministers seem to be chasing after white people and worshipping Trump like he's some god. The USA now has invited Trinidad and Guyana to attend the Shield of Americas, which would revolve around constructing bases in Trinidad and Guyana. Now, USA has just lost billions to trillions of dollars worth of bases in the Middle East because Iran crushed oil with missiles. And he's looking at countries now, study the GDP of Trinidad and Guyana to rebuild bases cheap, right? So that they could bring missiles. And he's talking about using, blowing up drug cartels. I want the Prime Minister to know that Trinidad and Tobago is a signatory to the International Court of Justice. If USA comes here and they're using our country to launch missiles to kill people on the sea, right? The International Criminal Court of Justice will call us and ask us to account, and we'll be in serious trouble. USA is not a member of that court. Furthermore, CNC3 is exposing the nonsense and stupidness that this government is doing, and they're giving it to them good and proper. Also, CNC3 did a story and they were saying that with regards to Trinidad accessing loans from China, due to the Prime Minister's blind collaboration and idealization of USA, it's going to make it difficult for us to get loan. We purchase goods from China. China might decide to stop. And with regard to construction, so it is going to have some severe repercussions for us down the road. I want these loyalists to know, what they put in our country into. Right now, England and USA are loggerheads because of the relationship with Trump. And they were very close because Trump is doing all sorts of things. He's bullying England for USA to come there and use it as a base to hit Iran. Why the hell these people here, right, want to allow Trump to build a base here? If there's a war with America and any other country, they're going to launch missiles and hit the base and put us at risk. We're not thinking, right? We are not thinking. There are a lot of things being unattended in this country. We have a faltering bus system. People can't get water, etc. And additionally too, crime is out of control. The government intends to run the country by SOEs, etc. And it's like we're just not assessing this thing properly. So let the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago continue to run down Trump, right? Trump has temper is mercurial. He's very fickle, right? Right in the summit there, Trump cursed the Prime Minister of Spain in front of everybody. So he has no respect for women. And why did he put Kamala Persad-Bissessar quite down at the end as a lady? Bring her in the middle now. This country sell out to the USA. And America don't know nothing for free. Eh? They will use us like a sanitary cup and then throw us in the garbage. I gone.
Lennox, you hear anything about we as a base here? Because we need to clear up that if it so Trinidad and Tobago signed to be a base here to launch rockets to kill people.
Listen. The entire shield of the Americas has to deal with drug cartels and the havoc that they are wreaking in the respective countries. And my understanding of the arrangement is that each territory, each sovereign state will use their resources in order, military and or police and other law enforcement and marine assets in order to eradicate that scourge. Full stop. So, yes, there will be some assistance, obviously, that would be required from the United States. But to suggest that some base will be here or in any one of the other 12 invitees, I think is an exaggeration and a figment of somebody's imagination. I want to say, however, that there is some in the midst of that what I consider to be fundamentally mendacious statement, meaning that false statement, lie for some extent, because you have people who want to convince you by generating a mixture of lies and reality. Well, the only reality there is that, yes, the United States is not a member of the International Criminal Court. That is a fact. Trinidad and Tobago is. But if they have not committed any crime to warrant that kind of attention, then clearly that is a figment of somebody's imagination and projection that simply does not exist. So as far as the base is concerned, there is no talk about base. Of course, the Minister the Minister Sturge, when he had his that conference meeting with other members, including, of course, that of the American authorities, he did talk about assets that they would love to get, and I think two old warships are being considered to be given to Trinidad and Tobago as part of its marine assets to patrol our respective to patrol our borders. And I'm sure that would expand because we have the region itself has a security system as well that speaks to those very issues. So I think the caller is either highly misinformed or has a very fertile imagination.
Okay.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Boss man, let me tell you something. Like that boss you're living in, sending you crazy. You better do pray that the license officers that come and charge you for sleeping in a bus. Charge you for sleeping in a bus. The bus sending you crazy from bus to Prime Minister you're talking about now. How CNC3 didn't attack Rowley and exposing them for all the wicked things they do to the country. You following Rowley, they're going mad since Rowley lost, PNM lost. Come on the bus now. Take a come where bus for before the license officers come and charge you for sleeping in a bus. You're going crazy and sounding stupid, you're talking such a nonsense, rubbish. Like you're sleeping in you have a rubbish pillow. Your pillow make out of rubbish. So when you rubbish, you talk when you get up every day. Since when you know about the government doing, from this and from that, my foot. You're that way your boss for to blow it up. You stupid fool. Stop talking now. You only sleep talking more rubbish than you only dumb could hold.
Good morning to the magnificent tree. Boy, I listened to that boss man talking, and I said to myself, brain had to go with looking. So I don't know how that man looking. He make me remember he looking like a fella from Lavanti who I know and all you know. Brain does have to go with look. Look at you, Mr. Lennox, for instance, you use a real brain man. You don't look bad. Brain had to go with look. Andy don't look bad. Well, I don't really look at the sniper so much, but somehow his voice sounding alright. So somehow, don't study Bossman, man. Bossman brain is just like he look. Yeah, the other thing I have to say about it is that in this life, for me, it have no rights. Because since man sinned against God, God take away all rights from man. That's why I live in my life without rights. Because I could walk out in the morning day and I gone. And when I gone, where my rights gone? We people in this world come like walking dead. Because you could be going on the road and you never come back home. You could go on the beach till drunk and never come back home. An accident take you there. It's wrong for man to kill man. Because God said, thou shalt not kill. And then he say you could kill a man in defense of yourself. Right? But otherwise, why you have to afraid of SOE? Why you have to afraid as a loan bill? All them things is just to help you live longer because just now you gone. So me I have no fear about no rights. I live in my life normal. I for life forget my rights. And that's what I living with. Yes, gentlemen. Okay.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Trinidad Tobago, and everybody in chat. Andy, good morning, man. I feel you, man. I feel you. This man first thing come on the program KFC. KFC, we really don't want to hear you. You bring negative thing in the program. These are godly program. This program is for people, sensible people, talking and give you a good contribution. Not with your nonsense coming every day. I don't want to hear you, man. You're sickly me, man. You know the Bible says, a man does not work, shall not eat. Right? You can't blame somebody else for your problem. And we can't help you with that. And then nobody can help you, but you keep calling the man for what? When you're harassing the man for what?
Great is the PNM. After $1 trillion, Trinidad look at trillion times worse. Again, great is the PNM.
William, good morning. Andy William, the boss man needs to get a life. The man is calling our prime minister a slave, running after white people. Is this really come to know? That Gallagher, come on, Andy, man. Andy, you can't play this man message. This man is talking like a real miscomplete. The woman is doing what's right for the country. Did you not listen to the joint committee meeting yesterday that the corruption the PNM was in and how the money and all this friends and family were eating out of the top? I mean, it's Gallagher man to listen, man. This man to hear to see. This guy like a blind man. He chase the PNM behind no matter what they do. Tell him get out, call it Prime Minister running behind white people. What kind of jacker? I mean, sorry, one more thing, Andy. Tell that man, that boss man here, that CNC3 is not a television station. That's a CNC3 is not that's a PNM station. That's a propaganda station. They only spill propaganda. So CNC3 is propaganda station. You need to call out the propaganda TV station, CNC3. Andy, I tell you, boss man is a fool. Sorry for using the word Gallagher. That man is that. The US had a base in Trinidad. I used to live next to the base in Freeport. US already had a base there. Okay, my dad worked in that base with the white man. So, come on, dummy. You don't need nothing. When you're out to ride the bus, or maybe you have a bus and let somebody ride your bus later.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Andy, I'm feeling hurt. I had to come out and talk and let off my chest and deal with the truth and equal rights. Andy, I fight and toil for this government. Lack of opportunities, no employment, nothing at all. Regardless of what I was cussing the last regime and got lifetime opportunities. So my two children and them I roof over their head. And people who I fight and toil with, who I thought was my family, they're not my family. It's pure victimization thing and discrimination thing going on. Because I come out and say something politically wrong and there's some wicked callers and texters who listening, cutting out tape and sending to the ministers. The number one caller, all of them are flipping the people and building the people be like crabs in a barrel, eat a full, hungry mouthing and fighting on our own black brothers and sisters. I calling on the black ministers and them in the UN city, trying to put all the black brothers and sisters, Julian John and Robert, Philip Watts, all there. You come across from the PNM and the minister now, and you're helping out PNM people, you're helping out the UNC people. I know what's going on. I know the attack. And that's what I like the honorable Prime Minister for. Everybody can like you. You don't win a doggy world by picking this going on by special cares. You sweat tears, blood, and chant burn down the last regime. Another put me in the back of the line. You fly with that skyscraper. Our bag of money. And that's why the opportunities to move forward. And I must look how long my thing going through this, that ministry, this, that thing, and I go on by the minister.
Morning, caller. We're calling from what's your contribution in the Gong Report?
Hello.
Go ahead, Beulah.
Andy, good morning. Yes, good morning. I'm watching earlier on TV here. Yes. I just want to tell the boss man he can stay in his lane. How you could talk about my prime minister like that chasing after a white man, Trump? You're fast and out of place, and clearly we could see the racists in all your people. Clearly we could see the racists in all your. Why would you say something like that? When the lady meeting with Trump at better Trinidad and Tobago and talking about radar and thing. You know why a little what the radar here and if she allowed Trump to build Lennox, how they call it, for like soldiers to be here? Base. You know why a little one that you know why a little a base. You know why a little one that here? That is why all you fidgety and all you jumping all over crazy. Because all you want the crime to continue and all you want the lawlessness to continue. That is why Bossman going crazy. Because Kamala is with Trump, whereas with Rowley and Maduro it was a drug cartel. Compare the difference if all you boys enough and smart enough to Patricia Reed and all you. We could read between the lines with all you. That is what all you want, right? And for the last thing for the inquiries, I want to say congratulations to Jack Dave. You're a boss. You're a boss. But at the end of the day, you see all these people who went with all our money, all Trinidad and Tobago money, they have to go get a jail. They have to be in handcuffs after all these inquiries that go to the parliament. Somebody have to be arrested. And starting from Rowley, come down. This is no fun and joke kind of program thing here. This is about facts and not fiction. This is about debating these wicked PNM who does be calling in and sending voice notes. You have to debate them and ask them, tie them up with their own words. You understand? This bossman cannot come here and KFC them cannot come here. 1 minute they're contradicting this, every next minute they're talking this. Hello, I am very smart and I just read between the lines because I just listen very carefully and there's nobody coming from and where they go in. Okay, Andy. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Let's continue Trinidad and Tobago. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Bang, bang, bang.
Good morning, caller. We're calling from, and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Brother Andy.
Hey, Brother Lenny.
Lennox. Yes, and Mr. Snipe. I just have a message for Bossman. You know, there was a guy, he went to England and he left his wife somewhere in Princestown. And he was sending money for her. And when he came back, she had the next man. And from that day, he was a trumpet man. He blew a trumpet in front of the library for the rest of his life. So apparently, a busman must have horned him. So he needs to get the horn from a bus and go and stand by the library corner and blow that horn until the Lord is ready for him. And as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, she was given the keys and honored in the city of Fort Lauderdale on Sunday. I don't know if you all saw it. And it was no Prime Minister from Trinidad was ever given that reception ever in the United States. None. And I don't know if you saw that clip comparing me mostly with the Prime Minister, where David Nackwood, he didn't agree with her supporting Trump and Iran. And that's one of, I think it's her senators, I believe. And she congratulated him for being an independent person. Unlike Mia Motley, where one of her senators disagreed with her, said something that Mia Motley didn't like, and she fired her. She fired her, Andy. So that's the big difference. So that was my little contribution this morning, but I'll talk to you all. Have a pleasant day, brother.
All right, thank you. Oh boy. Wow. Next caller. Last caller before we go for a break and come back. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, Kunji, COP. I don't know. Go ahead, COP.
Just, I don't mind you call me COP, Kunji. You can call me even Chupidi too. Just don't call me PNM. Just don't call me PNM. I think that would be the most insulting thing you ever call me. But good morning to you, Andy Williams. Good morning to you, Lennox Smith. And Mighty K, good morning to you. Nigel Snipe, good morning to you. You know, Andy Williams, I have been listening and I trying to understand. And I know some people might vex for what I'm saying here, but it doesn't matter. I believe I'm an independent guy. I have been here in KFC asking for assistance 6 months now. 6 months and 17 days. 8 hours. 6 months, 17 days and 8 hours. I have been here in KFC asking for assistance, for representation, for some type of opportunity so he will have a better life for his wife and his 2 children. And in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to ask you ministers them out there, you all don't listen to the ground reporter? Why you all don't listen to the ground reporter? Is it because you all in office or you all don't care about the ground reporter anymore? Because the callers and them UNC callers and them calling and asking for assistance, and you all not acknowledging them. What are you saying to KFC? To leave the UNC and do support we again? That is what all tell. That is what all saying. Why it is none of you all contact this brother yet and ask him what is the problem and try to represent him? Why it is only allowing the UNC callers and the UNC activists and them to be frustrated and call the radio station, call the television station to say things about the UNC? I wouldn't blame them for saying that. I will blame you guys for abandoning the people and them that give you full 100% support. And you all not supposed to vex with me for saying that. Because the people them work hard. They represent you all. Let me tell you something. I want to say this. The opportunity KFC get from the People's National Movement for the rest of his life by getting that house so that the children them go rest their head. And he had opportunity and he had a good reason to support the PNM. But he don't like the PNM. He prefer the United National Congress. Why you ministers don't prefer him? And why you ministers don't appreciate him? And stop him from doing what he doing every morning on national radio? It's because you all living a fancy life now and all you working. But think about the people that not working too now. I am a supporter of the United National Congress. I am a supporter of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. But I am asking myself, what's wrong with you ministers and them? Especially ministers and them that meet these people and them on the ground campaigning time. Is it respect to abandon people who share the same interests of you all? That is abandon, that is neglect. And the Honorable Prime Minister should discipline all some of you all for that type of behavior. That type of behavior shouldn't be coming from ministers who are in office 11 months now. 11 months now, activists not supposed to be quarreling.
Thank you.
They're supposed to get representation. Thank you, Andy Williams.
Thank you.
Yes, because we have to go for the break. Yes, it's getting hot in here. Lukewarm, but we are getting there.
Yeah, but
we have to go for the break.
Lennox, right before we go to the break, I just get very uneasy a little bit there. Why I get uneasy is that we all know, which is a fact, and I have talked to 1 or 2 people that said that they put out a hand towards KFC. We all know that he was offered a job recently, but he couldn't go. And I rather not. Here it is. You see the Gong Report program? It's a plain talk, bad manners program. It will never disallow a PNM supporter to have make their contribution. They will never disallow a UNC neither or a Trinbago Union. Because any day, we're on a government station. But when things not coming across accurate, truthfully, and technically putting blame to people of not wanting to assist or not giving that assistance, it have some innuendos in this thing. Fair is fair. And some of those government ministers in the UNC should not be blamed wrongfully. Because you see pictures with KFC and Kadisha Amin. You will see pictures with him and and whether it be Munilal, whether it be this one, that one, if he having and getting pictures with them, and it is obviously in close proximity with them and talking with them, and when he and them talking, them go tell him nothing. It just didn't feel right. It don't sound right. And I really don't want too much at KFC. I like Royal Castle. Royal Castle is local. That is just the pit bull opinion and views. I'm not going to let this program deteriorate to that extent at all. It have all walks of life of people listening to this program. Magistrate, judges, custom officers, immigration officers, all, from the highest, the politicians. I could take sip. They see all of that, go give me diabetes.
Well, I want to tell you quickly because we have to go for the break. I see the statement made by the last caller, the contribution made, is one beyond KFC. That is my view. And of course, it was more philosophical, it was more principled, it was more right and wrong than anything else. Of course, he ought to have included since KFC was the focus of his, or the genesis of the statement that he would have made, that he ought to be aware that, of course, some overtures would have been made to the individual about whom, or as a consequence of his circumstance based on the caller's interpretation, generated, of course, this a very emotive presentation that he made. But I see it beyond, as I say, KFC, and of course the flaw that I would want to identify in that presentation is the fact that if you're talking about KFC, then you ought to give him a caution as well, that if opportunities would have been presented or preferred, then you have a duty to explain why it is that you didn't accept, instead of course, giving the impression that you have been neglected or you have been ignored. Let's go for the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on? Why your bill so low? How your bill so low? I conserving energy, I switch your LED, at the stun of the AC, and I saving real money. It's our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
South Trinidad, we're turning up the love on Thursday, March 19th, the night before the holiday. Sweet 100.1 FM brings you Reggae Love Live. And we're taking over the lobby in South Trinidad for one unforgettable night. Enjoy big reggae anthems, sweet lovers rock, and so much more. Pure reggae vibes all night long. This is your midweek escape, your reason to step out and feel irie.
Before you pull that trigger, hate to see when youths become friend killers.
Bring your crew, bring your energy, bring your best vibes, because we're lighting up the lounge with music you know and love. Admission is free, so no excuses. Thursday, March 19th at the lobby. This is Reggae Love Live. One love, one launch, 100.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for women who lead. Because when women rise, we all rise.
Inspired by actual events.
Everybody has a fear of something, right? Well, so do I.
This is Janine. Despite resolving an incident in the past, Janine developed the fear of late electricity bill payments.
Current gonophobia is no joke. Sometimes I would even black out. It was horrible. I felt so afraid and powerless.
Thankfully, Janine took charge of her life when she was encouraged to sign up for TNTech's free online e-bill service.
E-billing is such a brilliant idea. Signing up was a breeze, thanks to that knowledgeable CSR. And now I have the power to pay my bill on time, fearlessly. Thanks, TNTech.
Visit ttec.co.tt to sign up for e-billing today. TNTech, the power to make it work.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight a woman whose career has been defined by service, resilience, and historic achievement. Penelope Beckles-Robinson. Her journey in national leadership began in 1995 when she entered Parliament as an opposition senator. She would go on to serve as Member of Parliament for Rima from 2000 to 2010 and again from 2020. Throughout her distinguished career, she has held several major ministerial portfolios, including Minister of Social Development, Minister of Culture and Tourism, and Minister of Public Utilities and the Environment. She also served as Leader of Opposition Business in the Senate from 2010 to 2013. In 2007, she made parliamentary history when she became the first woman ever elected Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives in Trinidad and Tobago. An attorney at law by profession, called to the bar in 1988, Beckles-Robinson has combined legal expertise with decades of public service. In 2025, she once again broke new ground, becoming Leader of the Opposition and the first female political leader of the People's National Movement. Her story is one of leadership, perseverance, and paving the way for future generations of women in public life.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
History in the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check. It's 47 minutes past your hour, 7 o'clock. That's 13 minutes to 8, and you're listening to the Ground Report. You're shooting the pitbull of radio. Director Snipes, Lennox Smith, you all are in studio. So let's continue. I see something in the newspapers here again, because this program mustn't be diverted to that kind of shoppiness. Really and truly. Yes, let me get back that news clipping.
Well, I see something here as well with respect to Donald Trump's statement. So what the purpose of this Shield of the Americas is all about. And it says very simple in one sentence. The Americas Summit last Saturday proclaimed, that is to say Donald Trump, the President of the United States, proclaims that the U.S. will train and mobilize partner nation militaries to achieve the most effective fighting force necessary to dismantle cartels. I mean, that is clear, that is pellucid, that is vivid, that is, I mean, without any ambiguity. It does not talk about, of course, having a base or taking over or invading or in any way colonizing any of the partners that participated in that inaugural signing of the Shield of Americas conference. You found your thing?
Nah, not yet. What else you have there in
Yeah, well, I have a deep concern. Last week Friday, I had the inauspicious or the irksome responsibility of seeking a birth paper for a resident, a returning resident from the United States, and she had to leave on Saturday. So I took on the responsibility of acquiring the birth paper, and I'm saying so because of the fact that this government is about ease of doing business, and it was like pulling tooth from a baby or even an adult to get that birth paper, which I thought was very, very unfortunate. And I say so from the perspective that on the birth paper itself, it says the requirement for someone who is getting a birth paper for another person that they should have a copy of their ID, a copy of the person who, an authorization from the person who whose birth paper you are seeking to get. I think that is on the form itself. When having gone there and met that criteria, and as I'm watching it right now in front of me, so I have it here for those of you who have a visual view of the program, and it says that very clearly that you need a ID and you need, of course, authorization from the person who would be whose birth paper you are seeking to acquire. Well, when I got there, they tell me that ignore this. This is online, Ignore this. You have to get two of your IDs, two IDs from you, yeah? Two IDs from the person whose birth paper you are seeking to get. Mm-hmm. A letter from the person whose birth paper you're attempting to get, as well as proof of your address in Trinidad and proof of the person's address as well. So I didn't understand that. So the first time I went, so I gave you the tediousness that I had to go through because the person is leaving on Saturday. Yeah, listen, I went with my two ID. No, I went with one ID. I went with what the form says. They sent me back. So I went back with the two IDs, right? I went with the ID of the person. Well, they say they will accept that, one ID there. And I went back with proof of address. In this case, it would have been a flow bill. You know what they tell me? I had to go back now and get a copy of my own proof of address as well. So when I thought it was just that, so I had to.
But you applying for it? Yes, you applying for it for birth paper?
I show you that.
I saw it coming across.
The only well, on Friday I love my dancing and things, so I got a good exercise because I walk in from George Street, and of course the facility, the Attorney General's office is just on Edward Street, so it's not too far. But I had to hustle, and I thought they were closing for lunch because it was just before lunch, so I had to hustle. So you imagine this short foot fella, running back and forth through the square, Woodford Square. Again, when I go there now, I have to go back and get a proof of my own ID, not ID, but proof of my own address. So I have to go there, go back there, and the only I could say salubrious, or the only thing that I could take from it that would have been pleasant was that one, it appears that they don't close for lunch. I was surprised because I was trying to beat the lunch thing and had to come back for 1 o'clock, so that wasn't the case. And secondly, they asked me to wait for 5 to 10 minutes. I waited for about 15 minutes, but I got what I went there for eventually. So I'm just telling people, listen, if we are talking serious about ease of doing business, then simply update, if all of that you have to get in order to get your birth paper or death certificate, as the case may be, simply update the online form. The online form continues to say,
it's not saying that at all. It's not saying where you are to get there at all.
That's right.
All it's saying is two things I hear you talk there.
Yeah, if you are applying for a birth paper that is not yours, then you need to get a copy of your of your ID, an authorization letter from the person and their ID, full stop. Not two. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that you have to get proof of residence or address of either party. It doesn't say that. Why people have to go through that? I mean, and I had to go through that on Friday. Thank God, of course, the tenacious person I am, I made certain that I got through.
That long.
They asked me for one. I pay for two because it's $50 for one. So I pay for two just in case they happen to lose it one time, because I don't want to go back through that torture. All you have to do, people, the administrators, the people who are in IT and so on, update these forms so that when people go online, because you're saying go for it on go online, you prefer that rather than people falling in. I like to go and see for myself. But of course, come on, man. If I go online, I see it for myself too. But the thing is, the information is misleading. I'm saying that as a public notice, courtesy the ground report. Right? That those of you who have to go for or get a copy of your birth paper or even death certificate, I see the death certificate has a similar criteria, then you need to get 2 copies of your ID, 2 copies preferably of the person whose birth paper you are applying for. You need to get, if the parties are living different places, you need to get a copy of your proof of address and the person's proof of address as well.
I can take that. You good. Let me take a call. You real good. Let me take a call. I can take that. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Where you calling from and what's your contribution?
Pleasant good morning, my brother Andy Williams.
Good morning.
Lennox with my brother, pleasant good morning to you, and the gentleman, the Wesley Snipes, pleasant good morning to you, sir. Andy, well, this is your boy Carnage, and I'm calling again on behalf of myself, and I need some assistance in the field of where on the 9th of February last month, I experienced a little incident with a CDA tractor where it ended up damaging my vehicle, which is my glass. I went and do the relevant thing. I went to the station. I do everything to get back my glass. I went back. I went to the Senate. I went and got a quotation by Bobby's in the Bamboo. On that same day, I buy back my glass. I put back my glass in my car, and I do everything that I'm supposed to do for CA to reimbursement. Andy, today's what? It's about a month now, and up to now, Andy, nothing. Anybody could help but I cannot get back reimbursement because I put out my money, they break my glass, and this is what I want Trinidad and Tobago to know. Every time a government vehicle, any government entity, vehicle, damage or a crash to a civilian vehicle, why the civilian they have to go through all that set of waiting, long. I tried to get the insurance, they say they will deal it out of pocket. Up to now, I'm still waiting. Anybody could give me a little advice or a little idea of what to do, or anybody know anybody that they could say a word on Barakanaj behalf to get reimbursement for vehicle, please.
So a government vehicle damage your vehicle. The government vehicle driver and everybody gave police statements stating that they're wrong. That they
yes.
And you are still now waiting to get your vehicle fixed.
Yes, I remember the pastor law where that if you have a defect vehicle, they're giving you 3 or 7 days. So if they're giving the average public 3 or 7 days, why then the government vehicle like the police, the army, this, because they be driving vehicle on the road, they get in an accident? Why then give them a time limit to sort out and if they're wrong, to pay the people at a certain time? Why you have to go through that, whether I go through insurance or what? If I go through insurance, you know you'll have to wait. But if it's an out-of-pocket situation, where they have petty cash and all kind of thing, why you still have to go through all that?
Okay.
Why you still have to go through all that? And thank God for my vote. If wasn't the CS my vote, if wasn't my vote, I went and raised 2 fish pots and I gathered something. I went and I put back my glass on my car, right? If I was driving with my car, how it was damaged, all outside my dad and get about 3-4 tickets already. Because police, I can't explain police, well, see, they break my glass and they pay me back for it yet, and I have no money to fix it back, and all this kind of thing already going on. Why the public they start to go through this kind of thing? Say something on maybe have somebody, Lennox.
Yes, no, I agree. We now talk about ease of doing business. This cannot be the normative behavior. People cannot be so irresponsible. I mean, you all the paperwork clearly you have indicated, all the witnesses' statements are inside, so to speak. So it's just a matter of making a decision, which shouldn't take much time. And I'm sure based on the quantum, I doubt they had to pay for a whole car. And of course, windscreen is just a small part of the vehicle. So that should not take that long. And that is one of the major problems that we are having in this country, that too many people are put in position to make decisions and to act. And when the public is dissatisfied and they take certain actions, as somebody told me the other day, if we block the road, it will be a different story. I mean, come on, why you have to make it reach to that level of frustration that people have to take these kinds of physical, antisocial conduct? So
let's go
I'm sure that CDA is listening. I would want to make an intervention because
we are trying to get on to Damian Leider. I think is the chairman of CDA.
Right, good. Or we write them formally indicating that this incident needs to be addressed with alacrity.
Nice.
Go ahead.
8 o'clock news. Let's get to the snipes.
Could mean for Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Energy strategy and policy advisor Anthony Paul says while higher prices can boost export revenues for the country's energy sector, the situation could also bring new financial pressures at home. Mr. Paul explains that geopolitical uncertainty can quickly influence energy markets, with global supply concerns often driving prices higher. He says developments in the region surrounding key oil shipping routes have already begun affecting market confidence and pricing trends.
Prices are a function of supply and demand. And once the war started in the Middle East, Iran threatened to block the Gulf of Hormuz. As you know, 20% of the world's oil and commodities and oil products pass through that strait. So immediately that puts strain on the market in terms of supply. And of course, as expected, that would push up prices.
For Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Paul says high international prices could translate into increased earnings from oil and natural gas exports. However, he notes the country also imports most of its refined fuel products, which means global price movements can still affect national spending.
So what will happen to the consumer is that the government of Trinidad and Tobago subsidizes those fuels, and therefore the price is kept at a fixed level for the consumer. The trouble is the government has been having difficulty meeting its obligations to fulfill the subsidy. And as we know, the government is running a deficit budget.
The overall impact will depend largely on how long global prices remain elevated, noting that while the energy sector could see gains from stronger export prices, sustained increases could also place additional pressure on the country's fiscal balance. In other news, a new initiative to support young women in the Tunapuna community was announced by Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander, who also praised the state of emergency for recent firearm seizures and several detentions. The minister made the remarks exclusively to TTT News during Pagua festivities in El Dorado, Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday. Minister of Homeland Security and Member of Parliament for Tunapuna noted that the bright colors of Pagua are more than a celebration of culture. It's a reminder of unity for many across the nation.
And you know what I'm looking at? It is called the Festival of Colors. But at the same time, I'm looking at how we come from different cultures. But then you see a combination of persons here, including myself. How can we mix colors together and get joy and happiness out of it? That means that it is also an indication of how we could live. Because if we could use colors, mix it together, and have fun, and enjoy ourselves, then someone is indicating to us how we can live together in peace and harmony in this good land.
In keeping with the essence of unity and generosity, the minister is giving back to members of his community in a new initiative focused on uplifting the lives of young women.
Just the other day, a couple of days ago, we ended the registration. We wanted to do something with young women in the area. Women who probably home doing nothing at this time. We are having a hair course where you're going to learn how to do hair and all these things. And we end up with 300 and more applications in the first ever that we did.
Minister Alexander also commented on the reintroduction of the nationwide state of emergency, stating that it has yielded positive results. In sport, newly appointed interim head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago national football team, Derek King, conducted his first official training session on Monday. The session was held at the Manny Ramjan Stadium just days after he was appointed to the role last Friday. Among the contingent of locally based players in attendance were national under-17 standouts Lindell Sween and Adassa Richardson, along with national under-20 captain Darrell Garcia. Senior players Cathon Saint-Hilaire, Alvin Jones and Javari Bryce were also part of the session. The training gave interim head coach Derek King and newly appointed assistant coach Hudson Charles an opportunity to closely assess the group before naming a final squad for Trinidad and Tobago national football team ahead of their international friendly against Bolivia national football team on March 15th. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic, antique, and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music. Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Chairman of the National Gas Company, Mr. Joel Ramdeen, says that Trinidad and Tobago stand on the cusp of an energy revolution, with the National Gas Company at the center of this transformation. In a media interview, Mr. Ramdeen explains that the company's new gas agreements are set to strengthen local production while positioning the country as a significant player in the global energy market. Mr. Ramdeen also highlighted the key progress of collaborations with Perenco.
One of the first things that we set out to do was to make whole our supply of gas from the upstream, because it is only when we have a guaranteed supply of gas and line of sight on the upstream that we are able to provide that gas to our downstream manufacturers, our light industrial customers, supply our allocation of gas into Atlantic LNG, and supply our power producers. And it is in that context that we entered into negotiations with Perenco. Perenco is a very important partner. They are a JV partner, and they're an important company for the development of our hydrocarbon resources for the simple reason that they are an expert. They have the expertise to explore aging assets, and many of our reservoirs, especially in the teak salmon and pui fields, are really some of our oldest assets and our most mature reservoirs. And they have been able to continue production from those aging assets and bring that gas to the National Gas Company. And we also were successful in negotiating the 2C, 3A blocks, which they have a history to that as well. But in all, the prices, the term, and the volumes that we were able to negotiate with the leadership of the board, the acting president, Mr. Edmund Sobrian, and our commercial team, we are very proud of this achievement because we were able to negotiate terms that were favorable to the NGC, terms that allowed us to provide good opportunities for the downstream sector, and we were able to do that in a record period of time.
These initiatives with Perenco aim to secure a reliable energy supply, create new jobs, and drive economic growth, all while focusing on sustainable and efficient use of the nation's natural gas resources. With NGC leading the way, the energy sector in Trinidad and Tobago is poised for a dynamic and resilient future, ready to meet both domestic needs and international opportunities.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Before the sun, before the road, the talk starts here. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. We are back. Time check. It's approximately 11 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you're listening and viewing us on our several social media platforms that are available to you when you leave your maxis, your taxis, your PH vehicles, when you reach home or when you reach on work. So again, for those of you that are now locked on, and for the first time bouncing up this big program, as a matter of fact, the biggest program in Trinidad and Tobago on a morning, Monday to Friday, between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m., The Ground Report. Welcome to The Ground Report. I'm organized now and play some voice notes of some very important contributions with people front burners.
Andy, good morning to you, Lennox, Mikey, Newbie, and to everybody out there. Andy, well, Good Friday coming up just now, right? And Busman practicing from now to be the Good Friday Rara. You might know about the Good Friday Rara, but Lennox might know. All who grew up with old people will know, right, about Good Friday Rara. And you're practicing from now. To hear Busman talk, you would swear we were living in paradise up until the 28th of April. And we know where he getting that from. Nothing was working in this country before the 28th of April. No water, poor electricity, right? Everything, Andy, the roads in bad condition, no schools, nothing. But Busman didn't have a problem. Suddenly now, on the 29th of April, Busman wanted them to wave a wand and fix everything. I keep telling him, and I don't know if you played my voice note yesterday, right? Be a little more credible where people will respect you. Because right now we know who you are the mouthpiece for. We know that. Everybody knows that. And you're not sounding good. Try and be a little more credible now. So people will have a grain of salt of respect for you. It's one thing over and over, and he like the locust and the grain of corn. The locust come and take a grain of corn, and he went, and that went on and on and on. That's what just did that one line, and that is what he does every morning. That is what he does, right? America is one of our biggest trading partner from way back when. Right? You expect Mrs. Pasabi says as a prime minister to go against him? Ask yourself, not because Mia Motley and all of them gone quiet now, that they're not going to support Trump. Ask yourself. She is seeking the interest of the country, and if you don't like it, you put yourself up for prime minister, because apparently you and all who you're supporting to bring out this nonsense could fix this country better. Go up for election now. Andy is one set of empty vessels banging on the pavement looking for relevance. One thing over and over, nothing working in this country, but nothing was working before. Nothing was working before. We met a treasury that was empty. Fumes, really running on fumes. Because even the PNM was asking where she getting money from to do these things. And you come in with this rhetoric every morning? Oh, geez, man. Have a little more credibility and people will respect you. Because right now, nobody has any for you. Thanks, Andy.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen. Gentlemen, you know, I am wondering, when will Trinidadians mature and face reality? When will they realize that we have come to a place now where we have to be serious, we have to go with the times, and all the wrongs and the evil in this country has to be fixed? And it cannot be fixed by the continuous old talk. It's a time where we must have action, do you understand? And it seems that the people who are in one form, one way or the other, involved in some form of crime, they have a serious problem with the good work that Kamala Prasad Bisesa is doing. Imagine this woman met with the Southern Command top brass. This is what has to be done now. Now is not a time for slingshot. Now is a time where, you know, it is very, very serious crime. You understand? The world is in jeopardy, and Trinidad and Tobago, if for once we get a prime minister that is working to fix Trinidad and Tobago, why should we be against that? The only reason why people should be quarreling and finding fault with all that Kamala Prasad that's doing, and the busman saying about she meeting with Trump and she meeting with this, hey, all year, we passed the low-life, labasterian, gutterat times, you hear? We are moving on up. She is taking this country out of the lawless dump that it is, you understand? And there are people who are bent on keeping me in the gutter that PNM had me for 10 years. Enough is enough. Madam Prime Minister and the government of Trinidad and Tobago, do whatever you all have to do to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. Who vex because the drug can't pass, and who vex because they can't come out and use the gun, and who vex because they love the lawlessness, too bad for them. You understand? But do what is right for the good, decent, law-abiding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We support you and your government 100%. And you know something? The haters, all you, just hold now and give me a break. We moving on up. Blessings.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy, Mr. Lennox, and everyone else. Andy, I'm real upset because it is very clear that that caller doesn't be listening to this program a long time. Because if he would have been listening to this program, he would have known and would have heard that KFC was given a job opportunity. He couldn't go, right? Then he can't reach on time. He wanted to tell the employer when he could reach and when he could leave and these things like that, right? And every single day, you understand, you want to come here on the program and on the show, and not just this show alone, other show, and berate and bad talk the UNC, like if the ministers have not tried to help him. At the end of the day, you could bring a horse to water, you cannot force it to drink. And that is KFC. I don't understand. Like, if it is he expect that, that because he would have supported the UNC, like every month that they just give him a check. You understand? The type of, CPEP type of mentality. You go and you work for 2 hours or 3 hours and you go back home and rest. He don't want the opportunity that was given to him. So then what the ministers must do. So every single day you had to come up and try to spread this false narrative like if nobody ain't doing nothing for you. Oh God, man. It's ridiculous now.
Morning again. I want to talk about the Ministry of Housing. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is spending an excessive amount of money by having 3 ministers of housing. And it's a year that the government is in power and nothing is happening in the HEC. Not one house has been built, right? We're not seeing any construction taking place, any land being allocated to put up houses. And instead, all we're getting is a set of talk from a junior minister who is not even in charge, right? Just talking and prattling and rambling and communicating, and we're not hearing from David Lee, who is in charge, and Roberts, nobody. So is it safe to conclude that this junior minister, who is third in command, called Phil, is Phil running the ministry? Something is wrong with that era of governance. What the HEC need to do, call a press conference with all the ministers, the director of HEC, let David Lee and Mr. Feroz talk and address the nation about what they intend to do, because they have several questions that the people need to ask and it's not being answered. We're not seeing anything happening in the Ministry of Housing. I mean, when Rowley was there, it had 1 minister in HEC and things were happening, right? I mean, a few houses were built, not much, but we have 3 ministers in housing and nothing is happening. We don't even hear from the other 2. And we have 1 minister, right, named Phil, just talking and presenting information. We don't know if it is HEC policies or he just being subjective. The HEC need to call a press conference and address the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Furthermore, I've been listening to several talk shows and people have been complaining that, you see, the utterances of Phil is very disrespectful, and the language that Phil is using, it is bringing down the government very rapidly. because instead of focusing right on doing something constructive with regards to housing, you have a man insulting people, right, calling them all sorts of names, making racist remarks, going around filming the property, exposing the business on social media, and bringing police and throwing them out when they owing money, and making modifications to their homes. So this nonsense has to stop, right? Something is wrong with that Ministry of Housing, and if we have 3 ministers in charge there and nothing is happening, the economy is just a stagnant drum full of oil, well then we are in a very tragic position. You see, I want to ask the Prime Minister, pay attention to Phil, because he is dismantling your party nut by nut and bolt by bolt by the reckless statements he makes.
Yeah, Andy, morning again. I forget one thing, Andy. Tell Bossman Indian people they run behind white people. It's the other race that run behind white people. We are a civilization, Indians, just like Africa. We are running behind those people. Okay? So this man needs to get his facts straight. And don't play that man message again. Please, the man is sounding like a dummy. Later.
Lee, good morning again. I just had to come back in here this morning. Lennox, I'm addressing Mr. Lennox and Garage.
Yes.
And anybody out there who experiencing problems, the government has changed, but the mindset of the workers there, they have not changed, right? I am also reminding people out there, if you have to go and renew your ID card, you have to take a utility bill as well. That's all the changes that they are making. You have to take a utility bill. Andy, this year I did it in 22. This is 4 years. I have applied for reimbursement, right? Reimbursement, national insurance, and up to now I cannot get my money. This year.
We have a call here too, eh?
Yeah, 22.
Go ahead with the call on that side. I go pause that voice note. Go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead, caller.
Right?
Welcome.
Reimbursement.
Good morning.
National insurance.
Pretty magnificent here.
Up to now, I cannot get my money.
First of all, I want to tell Mr. Karinaj that he had to go back to the police and let the police get back in touch with the people who hit the people. And if they want to fix it, then they will have to take them to the court. Right? Another thing, you see that KFC man? Here that fella you can't really trust. Because if the PNN give you house and thing, and you turn against the PNN, then the UNC can't trust you. Because they might give you something and the same way you go turn against them. You have to stick with who helping you. And if the PNN was helping you, why you leave them?
Mr. Granny, Mr. Granny, I mean, you are a very committed one. Lower your device in the background. It's interfering with your presentation and the quality there.
Yeah, that was another phone was ringing in.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that KFC had to cool himself. Because Andy make him out and Andy talk in a real positive way. And if you listen to Andy is saying he against him, you know. But you have to cool yourself because they give you something and you want it, so you have to deal with it differently. Right? So I thank Andy for that. So the other thing I'm gonna just say quickly is that Kamala had shown a leadership that was missing in Trinidad and Tobago for years. And if we had a leader like that who's seeking the country interest, Trinidad would have been a better place. But we have to wait until what they roll out for Trinidad and Tobago. Boy, we'll be in a beautiful place. I just hope I live to see that. And I'm thanking the Prime Minister every day for commitment to this country. she's doing the right thing. No matter what the PNM try to say or do, good will always triumph over evil. The PNM is total evil right now, and we have to keep away from them. On the ground report, we have to keep focused. If we're plowing, you have to watch straight. Because if you're watching back, you go plow bend. So let me go with it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Morning again. I just had to come back in here this morning. Lennox, I'm addressing Mr. Lennox and Garage. And anybody out there who experiencing problems, the government has changed, but the mindset of the workers there, they have not changed, right? I am also reminding people out there, if you have to go and renew your ID card, you have to take a utility bill as well. That's all the changes that they are making. You have to take a utility bill. Andy, this year I did it in 22. This is 4 years. I have applied for reimbursement, right? Reimbursement, national insurance, and up to now I cannot get my money. When I went to the tribunal in October, I told them about it. All the questions they asked me was answered in the positive. The tribunal and all, as I was there, let me see if they can help me. The tribunal and all was shocked to know that one of the ladies here told me it will take 5 years to get back my money. She said, I call her the chairperson, right, of the tribunal, said, no, that is not true. That's supposed to be done immediately. Right? She said it will not take 4 or 5 years to get done. And every time I go down there, I have to spend $50 to go down there to get back my money. They sent me a letter, you know. They sent me a letter in 2018, right? For me to get back my money. I didn't do it immediately, Andy, because I was waiting on the tribunal. But when I see the tribunal was a certain, no. Not that there was a certain, I had an appointment in May when COVID hit and they had to cancel. Last year I got back my appointment. Look at how long after. And up to now, I cannot get back my money from the national insurance. So as I said, and let me tell you something, Andy, 6 times I went down there. 6 times. And every time I go, I met a new clerk, and every time it's something different. The last time, they told me I had to get it in 3 copies. They are giving you 1. Nowhere on the form is saying you do it in triplicate. Nowhere. But telling me I have to get it done, but they're not making copies for you. They're not giving you extra copies. So, I start to open up my mouth. I say, I want to see the lady I give everything to this morning. I told her, I said, this is the 6th time I'm coming here. And I am not, every time it's something new. They're shifting the goalposts. And now you're telling me I have to get it in triplicate? I said, where on the form saying you have to do it in triplicate? Because every time I go, Andy, something was wrong on the form. You see what it is they're doing? You see what? But we have to stand our grounds with them and push back on them. Don't take no nonsense from none of them. And if all you have to write a minister to let them know what it is going on in these places, all you do it. Thanks, Andy.
Clearly, that has reinforced, of course, our concern with respect to the red tape and the bureaucracy. And no one is blaming the government. Clearly, those who are in the employ of the government to administer public service clearly are not doing their jobs. And in this case, I think in my case, would be the IT people. In Mr. Karinaj's case, it would have been, of course, the Shagaramas Development Authority. And in Miss Santa Cruz's case, it would have been, of course, the NIB. So if one have to take that as a microcosm, it means that therefore we can use that to say that seemed to be a malaise across the public sector delivery system, and the managers and those who are making decisions must now, of course, come up to scratch if Trinidad and Tobago is to advance in the way that it ought to. We have to go for a break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Can trust be rebuilt in marriage? On the next episode of the Marriage Confessionals, the Duncans tackle a question many couples struggle with. Is there really such a thing as privacy in marriage? From accountability to transparency to what should and shouldn't be shared in public spaces. Join the conversation on the Marriage Confessional, Sunday at 9 a.m. and 6:30 p.m., Tuesday at 5 p.m. and Wednesday at 8:05 p.m. only on TTT and TTT Live online.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back. How time flies. Time check. It's 36 minutes past your over 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. You're also viewing us and listening to us online. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. On our several social media platforms. So let me say a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you again. Thanks so much for listening to the number one, or locking on to the number one program, The Ground Report. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go ahead,
Andy,
caller.
we cannot. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, good morning. I want to ask this question to you all. When I had talked on this program that day, and I had bring information on this program that day, for what the PNM say and what KFC say, how what I talk, that video went the same time in KFC and KFC got it to the PNM people, and they played it the same time and have me right now on YouTube. How that get out of the station right away? How it get out? I only want to ask that question. Right. How it get out as I finish talk? He said, the KFC said, I got it. I am going to give it to all you. The other one say, I getting it and I giving it to you one time. How it get in KFC hand to go out? Because I talk on the station, KFC didn't take me. I want to know if this is a PNM station or if it is a number one station. But I always call in this station. That is one. And two, I want to say this. One.
Something playing in the background, you know, Granny. Something playing and giving me a feedback in the background. Call me back on the number two question that you was going on pose. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy, Uncle Lennox, Snipes, and all the listeners on this frequency and where this broadcast may reach. And Uncle Lennox, give up on the corridor transformation. He won't want to talk again. But Andy, I would like to say to my honorable political leader and prime minister, the scandal sister, SC, a woman of substance, we celebrate International Women's Day this week on there. Right? A woman of substance that make international news.
Go in a good spot now. Go in a good spot. You sound like a robot.
Yes, I mean, I do.
Lennox
Yes,
Smith, tell me sound like a robot.
I'm getting that impression as well. You're singing like a ping pong ball. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
Go ahead, next caller.
I was making a point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, your second point, Granny.
No, I love all the station. All the time since our days, I call in the station. All I did not is to accommodate. No PNM people coming to talk any and anything on all the station. Why is it all you accommodating this boss man and this KFC to talk on this station every day one thing? Now, KFC had got opportunity and he didn't want it. You want to work on your time and you're only pushing children in front for people to feel sorry. Man had to help yourself. Activists with COP talk on this station this morning. We talk on Professor Wall Street program about KFC because KFC went to talk about how Professor Wall Street is a UNC and talk about Professor Wall Street too. Talk about me, right? Talking Kamala bad and talking all the ministers bad on all the stations. And all you want the COP want the ministers to call me to do what? The man was freaking. Look, Alexander activists and them selling coffee in El Dorado. And Alexander is the man that wanted in Tuna. They're selling coffee. People selling tea. The patron nuts. What's on the highway? It's a plenty opportunity. Your children, Andy.
All right, let me ask you one thing, Granny, before.
Yeah.
You say before we then used to allow certain things, but we are allowing it now. Before we was online, on we own a social media platform and networks and all those things. Before we was at Robert Amar, which is a private radio station owned by a private person and all those things. Right now we are on a government radio station, which is owned by KFC, PNM, UNC, Tobago, every single body it is owned by. How could we now want to advocate what is right and what is wrong and all those various things and not allow a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to not make a contribution on a government station in which they own it to?
Every day one thing about the government.
We had to take it, whether we like it or not. We had to take it. So long, wait, one more thing. So long they ain't cussing, they ain't breaking that rules, and they being as respectable as possible, we have no choice, whether we like it or not, to take the contribution and give them the hearing. It's a democracy.
Okay, you know on Mr. XMM program, when you're going wrong on the government, they're correcting you, eh? It is not disrespectful that the Prime Minister of this country running behind a white man.
That extend them, we can do that.
That station?
Yeah, that
man
extend
had
them.
no right to be on it. He had no right to be calling on the station or sending nothing again.
Thank you very, very much. With due respect, Granny, and I'm sure anybody will understand clearly what I'm saying. So, Lennox Smith, before I come across...
just obey. We have a caller, so let's go to the call before we give priority to that. Go ahead.
Morning.
Good morning.
Andy, Lennox.
Morning.
And I don't know if I look at calling ministers Eli Zakur, but I noticed for a couple days ago enough carrying license office, boy, and it only have one cashier, and I saw now it have about 200 people at least in that line, boy. I had one experience last week Thursday. I joined that line about 12:30. And at 3:15, the cashier closed up, and I didn't get through. And what's right are real old people, and people are turn back. And I just believe.
What line is that?
Transport Commission. Huh?
What line is that?
The cashier line.
The what line?
The cashier.
Oh, the cashier. Where?
In Caroni, like so.
Oh, in Caroni Transport. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, I want to believe Clive Car, the transport company. I feel that them fellas gonna doing this thing on purpose, boy, to make the government look bad, boy. When you join a line and you hear the kind of conversation and how people talking and instead I get better, I can get worse.
Donny, and I
believe the minister had to go in there without announcing that he coming. He just make a surprise stop and see the kind of pressure people going through it. Because I know normally a minister going somewhere.
We have to shorten it, Andy. We have quite a lot of calls on the lines.
But Donny, before you go, I want to agree with you 100% when it comes to license office, not only in Caroni, Port of Spain too, whereby it's a real hell to go there to whether you're transferring a car, whether you're going there to get a certified copy. It sucks. It's hours it taking for simple things.
And you're seeing people behind them as a counter, they're doing nothing. People trying to do the correct thing and you taking a whole day to go up there and you're still not getting through. I believe the minister has to just go up there and a surprise visit and just see the pressure people going through there.
All right.
Because so if he announce he going there, everybody go hold the position.
All right, thank you, Donny.
We have another call. Worker supervisors, and everyone should hold their corners as well. Do their jobs. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. The Honorable Mr. Lennox and the mighty intelligence people. You know, just saw him people say something, brother. You touched my heart. You are both of you are true democracy for the people, of the people, by the people in this blessed nation. Because Andy now explained this that this is a government station owned by the individuals who call him me, you, everybody, PNM, UNC, everybody. And this is what we call true democracy. Talk City. The ground report is really a true soldier. You know, I hear my sister earlier on, Ms. Santa Cruz, and the other person was talking. You know, this is not right. Because in 2018, this government was not in office, right? I had an injury. My brother, but he would have known that because I talked that in the grandstand with the Honorable Senator. In 2018, I had got my workplace stopped paying my salary. And this is not a private institution. This is a state agency. For 2018, oh gosh, man, all you're supposed to pay my NIS. How could I went in the NIS from 2018 to 2026? No NIS have been paid. This is not right.
And that's government is saying? That government is saying? Is government what did not pay your NIS?
Yes, the Honorable Mr. Pitbull, they was not paying my NIS, and this is breach and violation of the Constitution.
No, I think you're free to say it is the Ministry of Transport. You were connected to the PTSC. Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. But at this point in time, Lennox, this is a very serious thing because I need my contribution to be paid. And here what they're saying is not only me. Normally, when they're going to pay the HR, doing up the thousands of workers in that ministry, right? And they pay thousands of persons in a contribution one time. This is not right. I want my contribution to be paid because I want to apply for my business. This is not right, man. This is a very serious thing. And if this going on in a state agency, this is not right. And I know this Honorable Prime Minister means business because she done already tell all the ministers and and senators to do their work, because if they don't do their work, she have the testicles to let them go and bring in good other persons to do their work. And this is a simple, easy problem. I want them to correct this issue, just as my sister in Santa Cruz there, because how come every time they go, they want This is victimization, people don't know who. They say this person may belong to a political party. They want you to photocopy, 3 copy. It's a machine inside there. We ain't taxpayers. We are the government. They could photocopy a copy and give she that. Why she must have to go somewhere else and get triplet in this world, this other thing? Why you all is not paying my contribution to the NIB? And after that, once again, I am not a casual worker or temporary worker. I'm a public servant, permanent worker. They are also in breach and violation of the collective agreement, the Industrial Relations Act, and the Constitution. When I get injured, they're supposed to be giving me my salary. That is what the judge said. This is not right at all. They're supposed to make that error, and you know what they do? They put me on extended sick leave. Lennox, you're a very intelligent man with those high words you have. You know when somebody gets injured on the job, right? They're supposed to be on injury leave.
All right, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got the point. Because let me clear that to Lennox Smith. So
yeah, but we have another call. Let's take the call.
Go ahead,
and then we'll summarize. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Yeah, turn down the volume.
Morning, Lennox.
Good.
Morning. I haven't called in a long time. I want to tell one person something this morning. That's what I called to say. Because I'm fed up with the noise and the lies he brings. Mr. Bossman, you have yourself a Merry Christmas. Christmas come early for you. Have a good day, Andy.
All right. So let me just, I want to just debate on something, because remember again, there are people in the maxis, the taxis and whatever. And I was unaware, honestly, I know about the private service whereby private businessmen and companies not paying people NISL charge, and people going and check and they're not seeing their payments. They're making up the amount they're supposed to make with 700 and something in order to get the money and all them things. You are telling me today that I am witnessing and hearing and understanding that in the government, working for the government, that the government itself not paying people NISL charge and them kind of bacchanal thing, Lennox Smith?
Yes, and therefore there must be some kind of revision of the processes as far as human resource departments are concerned across the sector, as far as the accounting system across the sector of the public service, and whether they are statutory authorities, like in the case of PTSC, or whether they are full-fledged ministries like the Ministry of Housing or the Ministry of Culture, as the case may be. There must be some kind of accountability, because you see, it is about manpower. It is about loss of valuable, productive time. And when the public sector does not function or is dysfunctional, then that has repercussion for the rest of the society and the economy of this country. When customs are not working as efficacious as they ought to, it means therefore goods clearing, etc., becomes a problem, and therefore businessmen will get their items late, for example, cleared, and therefore they have to depend on customers to empty their shelves, so to speak, to get those things sold, and then to pay, of course, their suppliers, etc. So it has some serious repercussions. That is why I condition the entire discussion on the basis of what is called these days being able to be as efficacious as possible, because it's about ease of doing business, and the public sector across the board has that responsibility, that awesome responsibility for national development, expansion, generation of employment, and of course filling the treasury of the country. That is what this is all about. It's not just the government at the policy making level, but those policies must be beaten down, drilled down into, of course, the office, the office cleaner, the person who delivers letters, apart from, of course, the CEOs and those officers that may be considered to be 3 and 4 and teachers, etc. We need to make certain that we understand conscientiously we have a role and responsibility if we are to get out of the quagmire and the morass that we have found ourselves in.
Nice. So we really need the ease of doing business when it comes into licensing office, whether it be Carney or Port of Spain or San Fernando or Point Fortin, licensing office. We need the ease of doing business. We also need the ease of doing business when it comes to the public transportation sector, PTSC. Some of the things that busman complain about is truth. Oh God, people are to go to work. The bus coming late. Sometimes it come at all.
Get to work on time and do what you have to do. Clear your desk every day. Let's go for the break, and when we come back more, it's getting extremely hot in here.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, or slow cash flow? It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Drupadi Ramgunai. She didn't just sing, she sparked a cultural revolution. Drupadi Ramgunai is widely recognized as the queen of chutney soca, a pioneering artist who transformed traditional chutney music by blending it with soca rhythms, creating a sound that would energize generations and redefine Caribbean music. In 1988, her hit song Roll Up the Tassa broke barriers, introducing chutney soca to mainstream audiences and igniting debate, celebration, and cultural pride across Trinidad and Tobago. At a time when the genre was largely male-dominated, Drupadi stood boldly at the forefront, unapologetic, innovative, and powerful. Her music challenged norms and expanded the national soundscape, giving Indo-Caribbean culture greater visibility within Carnival and beyond. Through decades of performance, recording, and cultural advocacy, she has become not just an entertainer, but a symbol of artistic courage and cultural fusion. Drupadi Ramgunai's legacy is one of resilience, rhythm, and representation, proving that leadership can come through melody, movement, and fearless expression.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
This is Talk City 91.1. 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Nice. Time check is only 3 minutes to it. 3 minutes to. We will have to play those voices. No, oh, tell somebody hold on. Go ahead, caller. Make it short and sweet.
Yeah, morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. And I just want to consult with you with with these payments from the government. And sometimes the government are their own fault, because when you have, like, let me say Tiantec, when you have the government owing Tiantec so much of money, and then the Tiantec now can't pay the bills, and then Tiantec owing the gas company billions of dollars.
So it's just like a recurring decimals every time that this one can't pay this bill, so our next one can't pay this bill. People who working and they're not paying and private and government not paying NIS. Now NIS under pressure, causing NIS now to raise it, which is no fault of the people, but the fault of NIS. Why they can't get a contribution? Why they're not making no money? Because the people not paying, the government not paying, so they ain't get no contribution to pay the people in the amount. And now we have to pay more, and police have to pay more. I go just be a recurring decimal right through, and they're not making any money because everybody owing. When you go to find out about the NIS, because you're owing so much, this employer in pay. After you work so long, you used to find out this employer wasn't paying the NIS. And there's a whole start run around, right through. And another thing, quick. On the oil, I see oil prices is like 190 something, that's 100 and over, right? I want to find out something. Now, when oil prices go up, fuel prices also rise. So on one hand, the country might make a little extra money on the oil and gas, but on the other hand, when we don't have a refinery, so now we lose it because we had to purchase fuel.
Yeah, correct.
So now when people say, hey, we're making a little money, we had to purchase fuel at a higher cost now because oil going up. I don't want to know if that's how it will go, because the country that we spending top in mud.
That's how it go. That's how it go.
All right, gentlemen, enjoy your day.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's 1 minute to the hour to 9 o'clock. Coming up next, Mr. X, Stefan, with Off the Record. Trying to go. Don't forget tonight, Corridor Transformation with yours, truly, Lennox Smith. As long as he get the opportunity, because he's a very hard-working fella.
Yes, boy. But
your voice notes,
and one doesn't cancel off the other one.
Yeah, your voice notes will be played tomorrow. Please, God, for those of you that send your voice notes that it was not played due to time, you all know it's a big program and everybody listens. Right, and just to clear the air again, everybody, it's a democracy and everybody have an opportunity to call in so long as they're not being disrespectful. Until tomorrow morning, please, God, yours truly, the pitbull of radio, are telling you, we are out of here.
Bang, 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 bang. Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel and lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will for big and for small in no time at all. Prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Through your patriotic spirit, unity. Somehow, if Trinidad ever needed you,